Hey everyone, welcome to Anthony's Career Advice. My name is Anthony, and you guessed it, today I'm going to provide you with career advice. This video and a few other videos to follow are going to focus on interview questions or how to answer specific kinds of questions. So in this video, I'm going to try to tackle, tell me a bit about yourself, what are your top 3 strengths, and what is one of your weaknesses. So let's get to it. First question is typically, in most interviews, revolves around tell me a bit about yourself. So what are they looking for there? Easiest way to prep for this kind of example or answer is to look at the posting, look at the requirements section, and then build your answer from it. So if they say that they value years of experience, education, training, titles that you've held, hard or technical skills, and also soft skills, make sure to comment on those areas here. Now the assumption is well, they read this on my resume, I want to try and spice this up a bit. Reality is they may have or they may not have, or they haven't read it in a long time. Consider that because your foot's in the door, whatever is on your resume is what you're going to be talking about in general, right? So it acts as the table of contents to your stories. And in this case, the posting, more importantly, the requirements section of the posting helps craft that answer. Okay, so just think about it from that perspective and it'll be a full, well-rounded answer. Try to avoid too much around your areas of interests or your hobbies. I mean, it's okay to kind of bring that up in discussion, and that could be part of the preamble, the pre-interview discussion that you may have. Or if you do want to incorporate it into the tell me a bit about yourself, it's a small fraction, but even then you have to think to yourself, how does this help me in this role, right? And if it does, and it's worth commenting on because it shows a different skill set, then great, do it. But if not, save that for the water cooler talk or once you're hired. Let them learn more about you, because at that point they would have earned to learn a little bit more about you, okay? So that's an easy strategy. The execution is a challenge, but if you stick to that frame of looking at the requirement section, your answer will be full enough for them to feel comfortable to continue moving on in the interview, when you can really focus in on what truly matters, your past experiences. Which leads to the next question is, in some cases they ask about your strengths. Sometimes they even say, tell us about 3 strengths that you have, or list them. Now in this case, you want to remember anything you say can and will be used against you. So what does that mean? So if you say you're organized, or let's say you're a great team player or a strong leader, be prepared for the person or the people sitting across from you to ask, okay, give us an example. So even though they're not explicitly asking for an example, be ready to provide one. Think about using the STAR or PAR formula, and you can find that in a previous video that I've made. But if you'd follow that, then you're providing them with a story to justify why you believe you have this skill. Because anyone can arbitrarily say they have a skill, but it's in your best interest to show how you've demonstrated it. Okay, the same is true for this next question that is asked, which is, tell me about one of your weaknesses. Now, the bad answer to this is saying you don't have a weakness, because you're lying. Everybody has a weakness. The question is how do you want to frame this answer so that you can show them, in the best light that you can, that you're working through something. So when you think of a weakness, you can look at it in a few ways. One way that I like to look at it as a skill that hasn't been developed yet. So maybe you're at the beginning stages or feeling like a novice at something new, right? What you really want to focus on is not just stating, this is where I don't feel as strong in, or this is an area that is a struggle for me. Look at it as present tense or past tense. So if it's past tense, you could say, this was an area that I struggled with, but here is what I did to improve it. Now you could say, I'm still working from being a novice to maybe slightly intermediate towards mastery, and that's fine. Or it could be something that you're planning on working on right now and saying, here's something that I've identified, and here are the steps that I am going to take or that I am in the process of taking to improve it. There may not be a clear outcome when answering present tense, but that's okay. What they really care about is how do you troubleshoot? How do you take something and make something out of it? So for example, if you were to say as a weakness, I struggle with, or I have struggled with in the past, doing group presentations. Reason being is it was never really a primary function of my role. But as I progressed in my career, I'm noticing that the ask of me doing this is more and more relevant and prevalent to the work being done. Because this is not exactly my forte or my area of comfort, I decided that I needed to work on this. And here is how I worked on it. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or however many steps is required. And then you focus on the end result, saying, and because of the effort that I've put in, I feel like my confidence level has increased. And here's how I know this to be true. I have stood in front of a group of people, or a large number or small number of people, and I'm comfortably able to present knowledge or information based on the topic that resonates enough with them to be able to say that they've either walked away learning something, or they're clear as to what our organization's next steps are, or whatever ties into your organization's focus. But the key point there for the weaknesses is don't say, A, you don't have one. And if you say one, talk about how you're trying to improve it. Because if you do that, then you're truly answering the question, and they get a sense of what your troubleshooting techniques and skills are. Okay? We're going to stop with these 3 questions on this video. Stay tuned for part 2, and I'll be uploading that shortly. Take care, guys. See you soon. Oh, wait, and like always, if you found that this video has provided you with value, please like, share, subscribe, comment below. See you soon.